Welcome into the Chicago Bears podcast. We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Getting the old double drop today. Gonna have an episode, of course, with me and Courtney Cronin later on. But we appreciate you guys for showing love to the channel and hitting that like button, subscribing to the page, rocking with the podcast in all formats. The Chicago Bears have signed Andrew Billings to a contract extension. It is a 2-year extension for Billings, which will carry through the 2025 season. This is, of course, per Brad Biggs. And I mean, like, this is really good to me. The Chicago Bears right now rank number 3 in run defense entering this week, a top 5 run defense right now. And, you know, Andrew Billings is a major part of that. And I think that that's the thing that really stands out. And now Matt Eberflus has an opportunity to continue to build on that with the combination of Montez Sweat, Andrew Billings, DeMarcus Walker, Justin Jones, right? Like, and of course, Yannick Ngakoue, right? And Montez Sweat has done a much better job in the run defense as well. I think this is only going to help that. But creating opportunity, a stat that I thought was very interesting to me, the PFF stat. And I take every PFF stat with a grain of salt, right? So I always say, give me the eye test, and then you go out there and you give me, right, like whatever the numbers are based on the eye test. But I think this one actually matches up really well, which speaks to the signing of Andrew Billings on this team. The Chicago Bears defense has only allowed 71 rushing yards before contact this season. That is first in the NFL. The league average is 257.75 yards. That is insane. To me, I think that this is a really good signing for the Bears, and it speaks to keeping this in place. I love the fact that we're keeping our guys who have been successful in place. When you look at this run defense as a whole, it's really been the only strength that we've seen on the defensive side of the football. We've talked about Andrew Billings kind of being in the backfield pretty much every week. And I really feel like this is one that Ryan Poles got right. I know a lot of people are going to say, you know, that there could create even more of a rift where now you're paying other guys before you're paying the guys that have been here, right? Andrew Billings has only been here on a 1-year deal. He signed for $2.75 million on a 1-year deal. How can you pay him before you go out there and you pay Jalen Johnson? Well, I'll tell you this right now. He's a piece that makes Jalen Johnson's life a lot easier as well, just right, very much like what going out there and getting a Montez Sweat does for your team. When you have guys in the building that are good players on the defensive line, that makes your life easier. And I love the fact that Ryan Poles is willing to go out there and put these guys in that position, put these guys in a position where, like, this is stuff that to me helps Jalen Johnson get to being the level of DB that he wants to be, gives him the opportunity to go out and be the level of DB that he wants to be, right? Like, I love this for the Chicago Bears as a whole. I think that this helps everybody on the back line, and especially in the run defense. Let's keep that all going, man. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Let me know how you guys feel in the podcast reviews as well on the Andrew Billings signing. Drop a 5-star review over there as well. I love the fact that we're also focused on the trenches here. That's the biggest thing for me, right? That the Bears are focusing in the right spots. And I know a lot of people aren't fans of some of the moves that they've made. I think the offensive line moves they've made, signing wise, have been questionable to this point. There's no doubt about it, right? But that's why you have to go out and draft offensive linemen, right? You can't be sitting here talking about, I mean, listen, all the offensive linemen that I think were signed last year are horrible. Not just Bears wise, right? But when you look at both sides of the trenches, the focus on that, saying we have to find somebody for this position, have to go out and get a Nate Davis. It's been a very up and down scenario with Nate Davis. Have to go out and get a starting center. You went and got Lucas Patrick. That's not pretty either, right? Like, so you have to kind of focus. But the fact that we're focusing in on the trenches, I don't think that we've had this many offensive and defensive linemen signed in a while. on a consistent basis, right? Of course, we've traded for guys and brought guys in and different things like that. But like, to me, this feels like where the Chicago Bears are focusing all of their efforts, fix the trenches. Lance Briggs has talked about that on the podcast multiple times, right? Like, that's what you want to see this team be able to go out there and do. So I think that this is a great signing. I love the fact that the Bears are holding on to those good players and holding on to players that are going to make those backline players who are looking to get paid even better. And I think the combination of things that they have right now is really a good scenario for them. It really is. Let me know how you guys feel, like I said, in the comments below. Here's the biggest question that I have for you. Let's put this out there, right? With the focus being on the trenches, where do you want to see the Chicago Bears go next? Where's the spot where, okay, we've got these pieces in place. What do you want to see the Bears add? I think that there's still a major need for that 3 technique, of course, right? This defense just doesn't work as well when you don't have that 3 technique, but it does feel like, like there is something that there's already here. Okay, we've got the nucleus of something building up on the defensive end. Now we just need to add in that little bit of a drop of something so that it all blows up. And we're now talking about, boom, this is a legitimate defense. This is a solid defense that you can't run the football on this team. And I think that's the thing, right? With the Bears, it makes them completely one-sided. And now with the combination of Billings, with the combination of Sweat, hopefully seeing, and I think here's the focus that I really want people to look at is, hopefully seeing the guys that are in place that are the veteran guys, making the young guys' lives easier. This is a defensive line to me where you can go to Justin Jones and say, listen, we're going to move Javon Dexter up and really see what he's got. He's a second-round pick. You have to start seeing more development out of Javon, going from that 2-gap style system to a penetrating style system. He has to start to make that adjustment. And I think that adjustment is easier made when you have veterans on the line like you have right now. Sweat, of course, Yannick Ngakoue, and Andrew Billings. I think that those are guys that make the lives of those young players easier, and you can work guys in. You can work DeMarcus Walker in with those guys as well. A DeMarcus Walker-Zach Pickens combination, right? Like, this is an opportunity for you to really be able to go out there and finally start to develop those young guys on the trenches. I really want to see what the uptick is going to be on the defensive side of the ball as far as pressure from this defensive line. Let's hope we see a ton more. This is a good signing. This is a good signing. Keeping guys around, keeping guys in place, making sure that you're keeping some level of continuity. I know that's a taboo word here in Chicago right now with the Bulls and everything, but keeping some level of continuity on that defensive line and keeping around. I mean, listen, there's a lot of one-year guys on this team. We go right back into next season with a ton of cap space because there's a ton of one-year guys on this team. And this was a test for them. Hey, are you going to fit in with this defense? Are you going to be here long-term? Are you going to be an answer on the defensive side of the ball? The one signing that we can tell you 110% has been that answer is Javon Dexter. I'm sorry, is Andrew Billings. And I think that this is a signing that speaks more towards the future, speaks more towards what this team wants to do in the long run and the pieces that they want to have in place when they're finally able to accomplish some of those goals. But again, as I said, man, let me know how you guys are feeling on the topic. Tweet at me at Pat the Designer. You can follow us, of course, on everything at ESPN Chicago. And make sure to tune in over to ESPN 1000 right now to hear what people are talking about. I believe right now we have Carmen and Yurko coming up next, so you can listen to them for the next couple of hours. And of course, Waddle and Sylvie will be talking about this later today. Make sure to tune in with them as well. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Appreciate you guys, man. Peace.